Hey there, I'm John.
And I'm Josh.
We are talking about the results of Week 9 of the 2024 college football season, and we'll jump right into it. What happened? Alabama had a good win. They were facing number 21 Missouri, and it struggled a little bit in the first half. I mean, wasn't super fancy or anything like that, but their defense did what they needed to do, and particularly
100%.
with help with turnovers. And
their starting Brady Cook got hurt.
he got hurt
Second
time.
That being said, Alabama, I don't know if it mattered what quarterback was in the game. It seemed like Alabama's defense had Missouri's number.
Yeah.
Offensively, I think was the slower end until the second half at least. But they did what they needed to do. 34-0. You can't complain about a 34-0 game, right? I think this was a huge win for Bama. I think it was a must win for Alabama's coaching staff.
For sure.
Yeah, you can only lose so many games at Alabama.
And I think for Alabama, it was Milroe connecting with some of the receivers is still off. There was still some issues there, but still overall much better showing for sure. Then number 5 Texas was at number 25 Vandy, and Vandy gave them a hard time.
They did. And Vandy seems to be able to give most people a hard time right now, right? I think this is more impressive to me than Bama losing to Vandy because Texas knew what they were coming into. Vandy's just been kind of a surprising tough team to beat against any SEC opponent so far this year. Anyone outside the SEC can beat Vandy. Anybody inside the SEC, you better watch out. Quinn Ewers was fine. I think Texas was fine. Scraping by Vandy isn't necessarily the best look, but it's definitely not as bad as it used to be, right?
It's not as bad as a loss.
So big win. I mean, good win for Texas.
27-24 there. Then number 20 Illinois was at number 1 Oregon, and the question going into this, could Illinois do anything against Oregon? Apparently not.
No. I mean, Oregon, what was it, like 35-3 in the first half, and they just kind of were like, well, we're good.
Take out the gas a little bit, and 38-9 final score.
And am I wrong to say that Oregon does seem like the number 1 team in the country?
It is.
There seems to be growing gap here.
Yes.
I think obviously Penn State's undefeated. We'll learn a little bit more about them next week.
We will.
I mean, Oregon looks good. Dylan Gabriel is heating up. I believe he's moved to number 1 in the Heisman race as far as the odds go. So big, great win for Oregon. I mean, on all cylinders, offensively, defensively, they look like the best team in the country.
They did. Or it could be questions about Illinois in the first place, but
you're not wrong.
The next one, more of the surprise, I would say, would be number 8 LSU was at number 14 Texas A&M. We expected this to be a battle. It seemed early on that LSU was sort of
truly thought
in
LSU
control.
was gonna win.
I mean, they were looking good, and Texas and A&M, despite their all-black uniforms, seemed to be struggling a little bit there at the beginning. But
sometimes
that didn't
all
last.
it takes is a quarterback switch, right? And that's what A&M did. And boy, oh boy. I don't think he really threw the ball much. I'm pretty sure it was just a run after a run after a run after a run. And man, what a brutal way to lose for LSU.
38-23.
It comes down to me. And all I gave was the nod to A&M because they have home field. That was really it. But yes, both of their losses were at the beginning of the season. But let's remember, LSU did lose to USC. Who's just not a great team.
Not good.
While A&M lost to a Notre Dame team that looks like they could compete with almost anybody in the country right now. And boy, A&M, only undefeated team in the SEC. As far as SEC.
As far as SEC conference, then you had Nebraska was at Ohio State, and 21-17, Ohio State wins this one.
By the way, Nebraska had every chance to win this game.
They did. They did.
Anyways,
that's what I was going to say. I mean, is that but they didn't. They weren't able to pull it out. They weren't able to put the things together like they needed to. But they hung with Ohio State, and they had opportunities to win this.
Could this be a case of Ohio State looking forward a little bit? Maybe thinking about the big game against Penn State. I don't know.
I don't think anybody was looking over Nebraska at this point because they've shown themselves to be pretty tough this season. So
yes, but Indiana just beat Nebraska.
I know, they just
like
knocked their doors
56-7 or something last week. And so in my mind,
Yeah.
Either Indiana is that good, or I don't know. It's college football. Bro, it's college football.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Then, speaking of Indiana, Washington was at number 13 Indiana, and Indiana won that pretty decently. It was not as big as, honestly, as I thought it was going to be, 31-17.
Yeah.
But a solid win for Indiana.
They were in
remaining
control
undefeated.
the whole time. It's really nothing much to talk about here.
Yeah. Then, Group of 5, let's talk about the Friday night game, Boise State at UNLV. And this was a battle.
We were up for this one till, 1 a.m. or so.
Yeah.
It was a battle.
Yep.
Ashton Jeanty really couldn't get much going.
Tough first half.
Yeah, kind of got hurt towards the end of the first half with his left arm. Looks like he got
bottom line was
hyperextended.
UNLV. What's number 7's name? Woodard.
Woodard. Yeah.
He did a great job. He was just centered in on Ashton.
Looked like an NFL talent for sure on that defensive side. But I think the big things to take away, UNLV was the number 1 turnover causing defense in the country.
Yep.
Boise had 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
Right.
That's great job.
Plus Boise got a turnover, which is very rare for
Yeah.
Boise. Plus the sacks just kept coming.
Yeah.
It's that bend don't break defense that they have where they allow a 40-yard play and then kind of toughen up there.
Yeah.
And they did exactly what they needed to do. My only complaints, well, I should first off say Maddox Matson honestly looked great.
Yeah.
He still had a couple, 1 or 2 plays where I wanted to, be like, oh, don't do that. But just as a whole, he, to me, single-handedly won this game for Boise. And that should be, I don't want to go over that because this year's been all about Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty's been stopped. What does Boise do? Max Matson steps up and says, I got this. And man, he put on a show.
Yeah.
So, huge win for Boise. Honestly, so glad we scraped by UNLV.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Very important one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then number 12, Notre Dame. Yeah, not Group of 5, but still.
They
number
played
12,
against
Notre
Group of
Dame
5.
was playing at number 24, Navy. No longer number 24, Navy. Notre Dame spanked them.
Yeah.
51-14.
So up to this point, Navy and Army, I think strength of schedule was like 133 and 132, like almost dead last in the country. It showed.
Yeah.
Right? Congratulations, you finally played an opponent and you got your snoz beat out of you.
Sure did.
So I think I will see the same thing when Army plays them. I will still say Navy's quarterback, very fun to watch. The kid can scramble like nobody else.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame, huge. I mean, they looked amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And Army had a bye, and so Liberty was okay.
Did we talk about this already?
Kennesaw State. We just need to apologize for saying that you're the defeated team. You came in there and won this thing.
And they were. To be clear, they were. This was the undefeated versus the defeated.
Yeah.
Guys, this is great news for
This is
everybody.
inexplicable.
We never
It's
have
crazy.
to talk about Liberty for the rest of the season, which is just a blessing. It's just a blessing.
Yeah, Kennesaw State, after the game, they rushed the field with
As
all
they
40
sh-
fans.
As they should. They deserved it. That's a huge win for
It
them.
was a big win.
Yeah.
All right, how about upsets? Didn't go so well.
No. Syracuse got, Kyle McCord.
Yeah. Playing for Syracuse.
On earth?
I know.
Holy moly, dude.
Yeah.
This is a kid who's balled out all year long.
Yeah.
Like 4 interceptions in the first half, I think. Like multiple pick sixes.
It was
like,
just ugly.
I don't know if this was just an off game for him. If Pitt's just, I don't know, that good. I don't know.
I don't either.
We'll kind of find out next week. But
Yeah.
man, Pitt absolutely demolished Syracuse from the very
Sure
beginning
did.
of the game.
Sure
Yeah.
did. And then BYU was at UCF, and
They tried.
They
the
did.
bounce house and UCF, they tried. They were kind of close to doing something there at the end.
BYU
and then
looked
just
pretty
choked it away.
solid the whole game.
I agree.
Yeah.
And hey, BYU still undefeated as well, so
That's it.
it's a big win for them.
All right, that's our look at Week 9. Stick around when we talk about what we expect for Week 10.